What will you do when the world has a zombie? And your sister turned into a zombie too? That is what we will discuss in this video. We will see that she has a man and it is happy because the world is really beautiful. And while he was looking at it happily, he was suddenly hit by a truck. Our main character's name is Lupeng. And what he was talking to here was his sister on his cell phone and he threw it away. Lupeng was able to say what the truck driver's problem was. Lupeng was able to say that his body was very sick and why it was so cold. He can't die here. He doesn't even have enough money for his sister's surgery. Because his sister has a very serious illness. And one of the reasons why she can't die yet is because Lupeng is a virgin. And he even said he needed to be able to touch a part of the woman's body. When he opened his eyes he saw a thigh. And as he and Lupeng looked, he suddenly saw a very beautiful woman. The woman who ran away from Lupeng said that Lupeng was already awake. After the accident, Lupeng did thank the woman. Lupeng introduced himself as an employee of a food delivery company. The woman answered this. They are said to be the same as the company they work for. The woman did introduce herself as Kylie. By the way, Kylie is the chairman of their company. Lupeng actually crawled here to get his cell phone. And when he looked at his cell phone, he wondered what was on the screen of his cell phone. It does hear something in his brain saying that the host will die within 2 minutes. It does recommend observing the power source of his life so that it can restore his life itself. His life is only at 6% and Lupeng is looking for a source of life. Kylie did say this, that Lupeng is no longer himself. And Lupeng suddenly grabbed a car because he said it had a power source. When Kylie looked at Lupeng, he suddenly disappeared. And it turned out that Lupeng was running with his motorcycle. And it is very fast indeed. Lupeng is said to observe the car electricity. And Yang is like flash in speed. Suddenly someone called Lupeng. And it did yell at Lupeng. It is said to have slipped. And why did he answer his call just now? And it was Xin Qing. This is his girlfriend. This Xin Qing did say that he and Lupeng are going to break up. Lupeng was surprised by this. Lupeng is asking for patience. It is said that his brother needs surgery. And he said he needed to go to the hospital immediately. The girlfriend did agree to this. He said that his brother's surgery cost more. Rather than buying him a bag from Lupeng, he said that Lupeng couldn't afford anything for him. And Lupeng is said to be more expensive. And it is said that Lupeng is even buying more for his sister. Migla turned off the cell phone while Lupeng was explaining. Lupeng was stunned because he said that his motorcycle had already been damaged and that it was still from the loan. And now his girlfriend is gone. This Lupeng thought that he wished he had never been born. Lupeng smiled. And Lupeng suddenly smiled because he was not the same as before. Because now he has a system and can pay off his debt. Suddenly someone called Lupeng and it was his sister. And when he answered it, he heard that Lupeng went to the hospital immediately. There are so many strange people in the hospital. And they are said to be biting each other. Lupeng replied that this Sintong is indeed his brother. We can see that there are strange people behind his brother's back. Lupeng wondered how he was going to go to the hospital if his motorcycle was broken. Suddenly he saw something on his cell phone. That there is energy in the forest. Suddenly, the scene shifted where there was a band and someone was holding a woman's legs. And it turned out to be Lupeng's girlfriend. He was with this rich man. Xin does attract the rich man. He said that Xin was Lupeng's ex-girlfriend. He is said to have lost his girlfriend. The rich man laughed at this because the only people who have chips are the rich. The power of chips is shown here because it can see the information of a person in his mind. And the rich man will be happy here. Suddenly the rich man noticed something and it was scary and he said it was like a ghost. It turned out to be Lupeng who took the energy power of the rich man's car. It turned out that he stole the car's electric power and transformed it into his motor. It is said to be very beautiful and his motor even transforms because of this power. He said he had a very good system. And Lupeng said that he was going to Sintong to his sister to save her. An hour later he arrived at the hospital and what happened at the main entrance? It was as if it was attacked by a terrorist. Lupeng entered the hospital and shouted the name of his sister, Sintong. What happened here? And suddenly someone came to his back. And it was bloody. When Lupeng was going to help it, he was suddenly surprised. And he was looking for his dog, which turned out to be a zombie. The zombie did yell at Lupeng and he got scared and walked away. Lupeng fell down and looked at Sintong's doctor. Lupeng was asking what happened to the people here. Suddenly the doctor's tongue fell out and it turned out to be a zombie too. Luping did scream. Two zombies will approach it, and as Luping looks at the others, there are many more zombies. Sintong's doctor came in. This is Luping inside the door while the zombies are chasing it. And this is the surveillance room he entered. Suddenly he saw his sister Sintong, who was also a zombie. And in the day, genetic technology, intelligent artificial, and space and something to say and technology has an outbreak. Humanity has entered the era of the near future. Artificial intelligence is gradually coming into human life. The world's regime was gradually divided into the Down Alliance, with the 3 East Asian countries as the core. European Ring Belt Structural Consortium as the core of the Rome. North and South America as the scare of the Providence Union. 3 alliances complete with each other. The world is therefore in constant strife. The misuse of genetics. Technology has led to the rampant of various diseases. One of the most honorable is the black blood disease. The affected person's limbs will steepen. The blood comes black until death. Only the most responsible medical DHIP can save lives. And Lupeng is just a commoner. After the death of my parents, my sister, and I depend on each other. At that time I haven't been able to understand that call disparate. And Lupeng's sister has income. It will hang under the tree. And Lupeng did go and ask Sintong, Lupeng's sister, why he was sad. Sintong was sad because he heard that his older brother borrowed tens of millions just to treat his illness. Sintong's pain. And because of his illness, his older brother gave up on his dreams and dropped out of school to become a delivery driver. And it did cry. And Lupeng approached and hugged his brother, a girl. And Sintong cried a lot. And in the next panel we see Lupeng's sister as one of the zombies. This Lupin of his Sintong did shout. He couldn't leave the door because he was stopping the zombies. Lupeng will say that these scum are like zombies. That's not Lupeng's goodbye about zombies. Suddenly the system appeared in front of him. It is chosen so that he can live. Number 1. Hide in the surveillance room. 95% survival. 2. Sister is in the hospital underground institute. To save sister, she must succeed to reach the basement survival success. Lupeng really wants to get it out of the system and go to the next room. Lupeng saw something that was actually a stick and he took it and turned it into a padlock. It even transformed various other things, and Lupeng wondered what he would do with these things using his transformation ability. Suddenly, the big zombie entered here. And it will rush Lupeng. And when it was about to rush, Lupeng suddenly ran away using the thing he had made. Suddenly it exploded in the zombie's face and his weapon was shown here. And he looked at the other zombies and used his weapon. And it rushed and Lupeng successfully got out of the room. He said he has never killed a person and this is his choice. But they are no longer people. But no matter what, nothing can stop him to save his sister Sintong. And 10 minutes later the system suddenly appeared to him. That the system says that he did go through the smelly road and Lupeng did get hurt here. But he could do nothing but do it and Lupeng did enter. Suddenly he fell to the very basement and suddenly he saw his sister Sintong, who was being held by the police. In the first panel, we'll see a government soldier and they got Sintong here. And soldier saying, Sintong is a legendary mutant species. And now, we will see a soldier with a big booty. Big booty soldier saying, contact the HQ immediately. And we can see Lupeng in the distance shouting Sintong's name. And when he shouted it, suddenly someone approached Lupeng. And we will see the strange person behind Lupeng. Lupeng wondered if it was a zombie. The soldier with a big booty said that they were going to search the room. Sintong's eyes suddenly lit up and he attacked one of the government soldiers. The soldier was shocked. The soldier with a big booty. Government soldiers are attacking Sintong. Sintong jumped up and ran away. And that's when the zombies went to the government soldiers and attacked them. This includes the soldier with a big booty. And let's go to Lupeng. With him there is a man who is said to be dying here. That this man is indeed the guard of their camp and he will save Lupeng. The guard said, I don't know either. The news says that we are at war against the Providence Union. As a result, someone detonated a virus bomb. Those people outside like a zombie were all mutated people who wear the chip. And Lupeng was shocked by this. The guard said, your sister's situation is a special gift. I took her down to the basement and then was taken away by those abused soldiers outside. It looks like they're coming for your sister. Lupeng say to the guard. Let's go. But guard said, he's been beaten. And Lupeng was shocked at this. But the guard said, I see. What happened to the people who were bitten by the zombies? And Lupeng is sad to this. and saying sorry to the guard. And now he is running to save his sister. And we will see the guard has been beaten by a zombie. Lupeng say to the system, "Can you track where is my sister now?" The system says, he has two options. Exit to the Undercard Institute from the emergency. And this will be 90% survival rate. And B. Go to the lab. Find your serum to save your sister. Survival rate is only 15%. And Lupeng said, he chooses a plan B. And he is going to the lab. Lupeng is shouting and saying, "Don't fucking understand me." He kicks one of the zombies and attacks them. The weapon is reaching its limit. But thanks to this, he dropped 3 zombies. And when he went to the lab room, he was shocked at what he saw. And this is her sister. When Lupeng saw this, he hugs his sister. And Sintong noticed this. This is her brother. When Sintong was hugged by Lupeng, Lupeng noticed something. Sintong was lost. Lupeng asks System what is happening to his sister. System says, this is a bug in the calculation. Can't be resolved. It is recommended that the host use the suppression serum. And Lupeng finding a serum. And he got it. The system warning sample stolen institute will self-destruct and explode in 10 minutes. And this is not good. Sintong is attacking Lupeng. And Lupeng uses the serum into Sintong. Sinto cried. And Sintong is asleep because of the serum. System warning Lupeng. And give him a choice. Number 1. Give up your sister escaping from the laundry entrance to the first floor. 100% guaranteed. Number 2. Arrive at the Underground Research Institute utility room. Use the blueprint to modify it into a refuge to withstand the explosion rate. BUR warning, this is not a suitable base for a refuge. But Lupeng chose option number 2. And give a map, because the lab will explode in 9 minutes. And he needs to go to the utility room. And when he was about to leave, suddenly someone blocked the door. And this is the woman with beauty. And he did say hello to him. How is his condition? Suddenly it tore his clothes. And Lupeng is indeed shocked here. And he did talk to the soldier with a big booty. Lupeng said that he would save this girl with her sister. And suddenly it licked Lupeng. Turns out it's a zombie. Lupeng is shocked here. He apologized and said he was removed. And it did attack Lupeng. Lupeng says, I need to use my points. There are no materials around to synthesize to make us a weapon. And this is that good. And the zombies approach him. And Lupeng said it's over. But Sintong is awake and attacks the zombie. Sintong say Institute is about to explode in 3 minutes. And Sintong said, don't touch my brother. Lupeng is surprised this what he saw. But he needs to get out of this room because it's about to explode. Lupeng ran quickly to the utility room. There's only 4 seconds. And Lupeng uses a system and he uses his power. But this requires 500 points. And in what follows, we can see that the building explodes. And we can see the explosion outside the building. We will see Lupeng saying he is not die yet. And he was shocked by what he saw because the utility room had changed due to the working of the system. Lupeng succeeded in transforming the room and became a refuge to resist in the explosion. And now the shelter is at level 1. And it can even be expanded using Lupeng's power. We have Sintong who is still sleeping. We can see that Lupeng put his hand on the computer screen. And he did make it and it did score 50 points. And Lupeng did succeed and connected it to the network. And systems say the new kind of serum has a temporary delayed. The mixed mutation of the black blood disease and the cheap genetic virus. Lupeng thought that since there is such a serum, then errant the zombie outside can be saved. Systems say this serum is not affected against ordinary people infected with the core of modify virus. Can only suppress the mixed mutation process in the black blood disease infected people. Once the mutation is complete, they are stronger and scarier than the ordinary zombie. The system refers to the type of black blood disease infected people as a mutated species. That's just the normal zombie mutation form. While the black blood disease mutated person is another species. They are at the top of the food chain once grown. Lupeng wondered if this serum was just temporary and he needed to know because he didn't want his sister to go back to being a terrible monster. Since there is a network, he can now use the computer. Lupeng was surprised by what he heard. Lupeng just said, is this the end of the world? What is he going to do? Will he just watch his sister turn into a monster? And Lupeng did speak to the system if he had a way to save his sister. The system did speak. The apocalyptic shelter is at your service. The only way to completely cure your sister is to unlock the well and the build. The apocalyptic shelter is at your service. The only way to complete your cure sister is to unlock and build a vaccine research center. By reaching the location, level 5 shelter. And Lupeng said, "Let me see the building blueprint." We have Lupeng studying the building and how he will strengthen his shelter. Lupeng said that these things that he needs are very expensive. The good air inside the shelter will be lost if he doesn't like it. The ventilation. And the system requires that it be replaced. And Lupeng was attracted to ventilation. He did hold it and used his power. And it did change its appearance and became more beautiful, and the ventilation became stronger. Lupeng said, "That's great, I guess it's right. The system mission can also be completed by modifying something that I can prepare. This way, I can find the same item in reality to complete the mission, save points to buy joint blueprints to finish and climbing high technology. To reach the level 5 shelter earlier. And we do have Lupeng who has a lot of money to earn points." Lupeng did ask the system, what will happen to his brother because he lost his memories. And system say, is sufficient data to judge according to the test, some of her intelligence and memory has been declined. To the level of the 7-year-old but still remember you are her brother. Lupeng thought, 7 years old. At that time and suddenly his thoughts were interrupted. And Lupeng spoke that it doesn't matter as long as I can survive, I can always find methods to cure Sintong, turn her back. And Lupeng did break it. His handheld lotion. Sintong suddenly woke up to the noise that happened. And Sintong did see this older brother of his and he did call him a pervert. Lupeng was surprised. And say, you listen to your brother's explanation, it's not what you think. And Sintong is not listening to her brother's explanation. And the next panel, we will see a government soldier. And it is doing an operation. And we do have income, a soldier with a big butt will get on an airplane. And we will see Sintong call his brother a pervert. Lupeng says, it's over. My reputation is ruined. How can I face my sister in the future? Sintong, let me explain. And Sintong fell asleep. Lupeng in her mind, Sintong is like a child because of her sleepiness. System say, congratulations to the apocalyptic refuge who survived the first day and get a new B lottery once chance. Our protagonist thought surviving the first day is like a hidden achievement where the reward is a lottery. System says, new mission. Buy the power generation room blueprint and build the power generation room. The reward is 100 points. Protagonist says, see if I can get the blueprint. And the wheel is spinning. And choose the reward. And he did get a vaccine. This is very expensive in the store. Too bad it's not a blueprint. Protagonists say to the system, can this vaccine cure the zombie? If they reproduce in batches, then would it save the apocalypse? System says, the vaccine is to suppress the chip virus. Straighten the body resistant to implant. It does not cure the zombie to become a human. Only the blueprint of the level 5 refuge can be produced. Otherwise, you can only spend a lot of points in exchange, store exchange. Protagonist says, I see. But the store stuff is too expensive. Let's inject it first after all my lives are at stake. System says, can the generator in the leading ground research institute be repaired to become the power source of our shelter? System says, yes, but the power generation room energy core was destroyed. The hospital research department on the 16th floor of the dean's room has a backup energy core. System say, issue but the black option mission. 1. Depurchase the power generation room blueprint and build the power generation room bonus 100 points and survival rate has a 100%. 2. The power generation room of the underground research institute. Go to the 16th floor of the research department to find the energy core. Rewards 900 points. Reputation then experience 1000. Curb Bina rate. Our protagonist is happy to this. Yes, this can way I can save points to buy the other blueprints. But our protagonist thought something. If the shelter was established to recruit survival widely, then would I not be the director? What system should be implemented in the shelter? Then the 996. Our protagonist thought something. And her mind. Our protagonist thought he could build a harem world. But our protagonist says, no, I should put a mind to proper business to save humanity as my mission to become a great director. The first step should be to solve the food problem in the future. Food 15 first. Lu Ping didn't know her sister was watching her. And Sintong said to her brother, Herbert. Our protagonist is shocked to this and says, Sintong, you misunderstood me. But Sintong is not listening to her brother's explanation. The power generation room. The following afternoon at the hospital, our protagonist watches the zombies in the underground. This time, that was the inner core of the research department, total floor of the Haskop Ibero department. That said, how come this hospital was everything? There are both research departments in an underground research institute. The main entrance to the shelter was blocked and the only way was the underground. And the zombie is gone and this is the good opportunity for Lu Ping. And Sintong is with her. Originally, I wanted to act alone. But her sister is afraid to be alone. Then, my brother and sister will face reality together. It seems that no matter how strong she becomes, she is still the same gentle Sintong. And we will see, Lu Ping is facing the zombies. And he is shocked. This is the apocalypse. Then, Lu Ping needs to go. And when they were running, Lu Ping suddenly met someone. And this is indeed the guard who escaped him earlier. And Lu Ping was really happy with it. Lu Ping said, I won't let the virus continue to discriminate your body. And Lu Ping grabbed her weapon. And saying, just let me free you. On the other side of the hospital building, the zombie is attacking. And the government soldier is here. And we will see, the woman with a good body is walking. And her name is Listen. Government Special Operations Squad 8. And when she is walking, the zombie is in the ground. And the captain attacked her in the face. And shoot the other zombies. When the other government soldier has been stopped to fire since the captain has shots. It means, we don't have to do anything. And enjoy the battle of the strongest special operation, Squad Lord Death. I guess government soldiers enjoy looking at something else. 5 minutes later, we will see the female government soldier defeating many zombies. We do have income from other government soldiers who admire this female soldier. It's amazing. You deserve to be god of death. It's invincible. And the female soldier said, let's go. Finish the task. Wash away the shame. And on the other side, we will see Lu Ping facing his guard savior. And half a day ago, the literally room will receive instant noodles on Mondays. 1 week after eating in the restaurant enough to sell, you need to search for food. It seemed that I have to rework what the weapon parts can be combined into. Forget it today. Take a break and think about those things tomorrow. And this Lu Ping looked at his sister. And say, who finished the drinking separately? That's what they work. There are new attribute points and talent points. Please choose. System says. Lu Ping was shocked at what he saw. His ability is increasing. Lu Ping, think about it. The talent for guns is very good. But it will be difficult to get these things in our country for banning guns. By the way, I remember playing a Wasteland game with set of talents that it is more suitable for my transformation ability. And first, add the strength. And he recovered. Knife. Points out the power. Level 1 Master. Lu Ping got a title. And where is mastership? Lu Ping said, take a taste of the sermon. In the chaotic world of love in the gun. Medicine circle. And Lu Ping did remember that he and the guard were together. He was always worried about his brother's condition because he was also close to Sintong. And Lu Ping said, thank you all the way for taking care of Sintong. The system consumes 10 points to transform. The flame knife. Lu Ping's sword is on fire. Lu Ping quickly dashes and you use fire breathing or sperm. I'm just kidding guys. Lu Ping said to herself, I will protect my sister. And the guard was burned. And Lu Ping did explain the ability of his sword. The Kung Fu Mastership allows me to improve my propensity in various melee weapons and the system chip is strong. It seems that it's not suitable to stay here for a long time because the zombies around here are so many. Lu Ping's goal is to get the energy core on the 16th floor of the scientific research department. And somewhere in the building, we will see a couple. And this place is in the 7th floor corridor. The boy says, let's work harder. The stairs are in the front. And the girl said, okay, thank you. Shun Guang. This guy is saying so much. And he didn't notice the zombie was in front of her. The zombie is biting her. Boys say, "In here's couple, save me." And the girl is running away from him. And boys say, "Why don't you love me anymore?" Girls say, "Let's go off the stinky cock. If it weren't for the time and times, the flowers of this school, can you see you?" And the other side, we will see the man watching the couples being eaten by zombies. Man said the two idiots were beaten to death. It seemed that the corridor on the left was black. However, some zombies were taken away as a contribution. And this man is the boss of this building. The boss said, "What a fucking bad luck I come across this kind of thing. I may not live in this building. When I come to Blueprint to treat a disease." The boss says he needs a sacrifice to explore the way. And we will see a girl saying, "Wait, why is it my brother?" And this girl's name is Zodia. Boss says, "We don't need useless people." And there's a girl who disagrees with that. And say, "Wait, it's not alright. He's still just a kid. And her name is Sarah, the secretary of this building." And he said, "I am the secretary of the dean. And I know this building where there's also a large number of zombies on the right side." The boss says, "Since the secretary Sarah is so righteous, why don't you go?" Secretary Sarah is shocked at this. Now, I get the point of Secretary Sarah. But why is this panel so precise? This is a discussion by everyone. That the diplomatic voting say of the other dudes. And other guys say, "Yeah, girl, what are you thinking? All thought you abstain from voting. The few of most obey the majority." Secretary thought, "God, what can I do? I can change all of this." Boss thinks, "Sister and love pretend to be sure. On the last day, I got you in the morning." Boss say, "What are you waiting for?" Shinwang quickly gets him out. Shinwang is this dude with sunglasses. And he pushed the girl's brother. The kid is crying. And the zombie noticed the kid. Boss say, "Don't this idiot come with the zombie." And we will see the kid is being eaten by the zombies. When the kid is about to eat the zombie has been stabbed by a sword, now our protagonist is arrived. Secretary Sarah said, "God, did you hear my voice? Sending such a warrior to rescue me." And Lupeng was standing, very cool. Lupeng counting the zombies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are there actually 5 zombies? Office staff say, "A zombie is here. Run." But Sarah notices Lupeng is not running. Lupeng preparing for his attack and say, "Master of Chef." And he breathes deeply. And we will see Lupeng is dashed to the zombie. Zombies trying to grab her, but Lupeng is so fast. He slices one of the zombies and defeats it. Lupeng is stabbed. The skull of one of the zombies. And this is so fatal. But why did Secretary Sarah grab her boobs in this panel? Lupeng triggers her fire breathing. The skull of the zombie is flaming. Secretary Sarah watching Lupeng to his bite. And the head of the zombie cut by it too. Secretary Sarah said, "Is this a human? So strong. This is skillful technique." And we will see Lupeng use the fire-breathing sperm. Secretary Sarah in her mind, Lupeng is like a dancer flying in the corpse dimension. And why is Secretary Sarah in that position? The dude says to boss, "Mr. Lee. Look at this. Them there." Boss says, "Huh, what are they doing? Go and see." The dude is looking to see what happened. And he was shocked at what he saw. Lupeng killed the 5 zombies. And Secretary Sarah is so amazed to Lupeng. To the bottomless of her heart. Girl with the blue hair say, "Who is it?" And the other side. The dude with the sunglasses is running to the President Lee. Saying, "Don't come over. Don't kill me." And he's tired and he can't run anymore. The dude with the sunglasses saw something. And why is so paggy? And there's a woman with such a good body. The dude with the sunglasses is in love. Girls say, "Handsome guy. Come to play." And he took off her clothes. The dude with the sunglasses is coming to the girl. But this girl is a zombie too. It's a mutant zombie. And the other side, Lupeng says, "Sorry. It's been too long to see human beings a little nervous. Hello everyone. My name is Lupeng. This is my sister, Shintong." The dude said to Lupeng, "How the young man outside has the government come to save us?" Lupeng said to Secretary Sarah, By the way, do you know where the stairs are? I want to go up to the 16th floor. And the boss appears here. And say, don't listen to his nonsense. The army is so strong. How could you? How could you? It's the end. The phone can't get thought. The zombie mutation has been more than 24 hours. What about your government army? Lupeng said, he just wants to lie to us. To go upstairs and die. Boss thinks, the army and the government are only temporary. Won't be there. Secretary Sarah, yeah, it's the first phone can't get thought. How in reality, the end of the world is there. Lupeng say to the blue hair girl, then you can't go down by yourself. Are you okay? The blue hair girl, thank you for saving my brother. You're welcome. I also have a younger sister. The boss is in her back. Lupeng get angry and punch the face of the boss. And it's so powerful. The boss said, you, how dare you hit me? Lupeng say, do you think I didn't see? What did you do to this brother and sister? How dare you point fingers at me? Shan Wang is in her back. Boss says, teach this kid a lesson. But the boss didn't know. This dude is the zombie. And he bit her in her back. Lupeng is shocked to this. And Lupeng rush quickly and say, you guys get out. System says to Lupeng, this is a mutant zombie. And the zombie is attacking Lupeng. So powerful. And Lupeng is about to splash out. Luckily, our protagonist defends herself. Our protagonist says, the power of zombies is so terrible. When our protagonist is about to attack, his sword is suddenly stuck. And he's shocked because the mutant zombie girl is on her side. But Lupeng uses her Sharingan. Just kidding guys. Lupeng said, don't underestimate me. And he uses thunder breathing to splash a zombie girl. Our protagonist is shocked to this because the zombie is like no damage. When the zombie girl is about to attack, Sintong appears. And he blocked the attack of the zombie girl. And suddenly, there's a woman broke the window. And this is a girl, the captain of the death squad. The captain fires the zombies. Lupeng said to the captain, this zombie with sunglasses is not dead yet. But the captain suddenly took out a sword. And it did attack the zombie with the sunglasses. Lupeng is shocked at this. The government soldier was indeed surrounded by Lupeng. The captain said to Lupeng, it's turned out to be you. I have been looking for you for a long time. Our protagonist says, what do you want to do? Lupeng in her mind, it's not good. It's a member of the 3 military forces. The girl captain introduces herself to Lupeng. My name is. This is Li Xin, and I am the captain of the death squad. Sorry boy, the girl behind you is my goal. Please be honest, come with us. The boss is talking to Captain Li Xin. I was beaten, damn it you soldiers. Come so slowly. I'm the mayor's friend, you know. The other government soldier is Khan the boss. And he said, Captain, he is infected. Boss said to Lupeng, soldier, this man just beat me and wants me to feed the zombies. Lupeng is so angry at this. The boss says, this is coming there to provoke me at BP2 level. Ask the soldier, did you hear that? Shoot him for me. The boss is so shocked. Because the gun is point in the of the boss. Captain Li Xin says, talk the nonsense again. I will kill you with one shot. Captain, notice the zombies are about to stand again. And the zombie girl is attacking the government soldier. Captain Li Xin said, be careful. Lupeng said to her sister and the others. It's a good chance. Go Sarah, lead the way. Let's go to the 16th floor. And Captain Li Xin is shocked at this and says, don't run. But the 2 mutant zombies are facing Captain Li Xin. And Captain Li Xin says, are they just the mutated zombies that the research institute said? And the other side, we will see. We will see the woman going up the stairs. And this is Secretary Sarah say, this way. By the way, are those people really government troops? Our protagonist says, maybe they are. But they keep catching my sister. I can't believe them. Secretary Sarah said, it's okay. Me to believe in you. They only say VIPs. The other girl said, yes, we only believe in you. My name is Sao Jia. Thank you for saving my brother. Lupeng said, they seem to be villagers and they're refugees. And say, thank you for your trust. But our protagonist is suddenly shocked. Because Sao Jia brother has been beaten. Our protagonist says, wait for Sao Jia, your brother hand. Suddenly, the system has appeared. And say to Lupeng, Mutant zombie detected and high risk. And our protagonist didn't know where the zombies were. And it's so puggy. The mutant zombie is in the above. System says, suggest that the host has escaped. And we will see the zombie with a demonic face. Lupeng touch the hand of Secretary Sarah and say, allow me to invite you for afternoon tea. Secretary Sarah was shocked at this. She thought, did Lupeng look at me? Drink, 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 drink black tea. Don't. At least can't be here. And next panel, the zombie attacks with his tongue and Lupeng knocks out Secretary Sarah. Lupeng said to Secretary Sarah, go to my sister. And he grabbed her sword and used sun breathing to cut the tongue of the zombie. The zombie is so shocked at this. Another 2 zombies appear on the back of Lupeng. Lupeng attack the head of the zombie. Lupeng is shocked because here are 2 more mutant zombies. Secretary Sarah said to Lupeng's sister, don't come here. Sin, don't be afraid. Sister will protect you. Secretary Sarah said, look at this child. He is panicking. God, I am going to run away again. No, at least this time I will guard here. And the critical moment. Captain Lee Sin fired the zombies. Lupeng is surprised by this. The zombie is not dead yet. After destroying her face, this is really a mutant type of zombies. The blue-haired girl said, the zombies downstairs behind are here again. And the mutant zombie is coming to our protagonist. Lupeng said, here go to this door. Hurry up. Lupeng and others go to that door. Captain Lee Sin said to Lupeng, I escaped by tactical invisibility clock. Do you have any way to deal with these mutant zombies? Lupeng in her mind, it's too strange. The system said, the only 1 mutant zombies would appear in the 1,100 people. But there are 5 here alone. And the zombies always feel something is wrong. But suddenly, Lupeng realized something. Wait, this bug thing. And in the second, the brother of Sister Blue Hair is being grabbed by the mutant zombie. The brother said, sister save me. When the blue-haired girl is about to save her brother, Lupeng stops her. And said, your brother has been beaten. It's not saved. The blue-haired girl said, if you were your sister, what would you do? Lupeng is shocked at this. At that moment, one end of his mind took his hand. The blue-haired girl saved her brother. And say, let go of my brother. And suddenly, he was beaten by the zombies. Lupeng is so sad to this. And said, I hate my weaknesses. Suddenly, the Captain Lee Sin fires the zombies. Lupeng said to herself, if I guess right. And he triggers her sun breathing. And he lights up. And he saw the zombie above. Lupeng said, it's him. Behind the scenes. Shoot. What are you sure? Captain Lee Sin said. Lupeng said, this zombie, like the deep-sea anglerfish, relies on its tentacles to control the zombies. And the horns continue to die hard. So, we thought there were a lot of sudden, different zombies. And Captain Lee Sin firing the zombie above. The zombies, in the above, is angry. And he dashed towards 2. Secretary Sarah and Sin Tong. In the second, Sin Tong punched the face of the mutant zombie. Secretary Sarah is so shocked at this scene. The zombie did bounce off the wall. And with Sin Tong's very strong punch, the zombie's face was destroyed. He followed it up with a thrust from Lupeng's sword. Lupeng said, killing mutant zombies for the first time will reward you with 100 points. And the mutant zombie has been burned by a fire. Lupeng said to Captain Lee Sin, thank you for your help. And Lee Sin points the gun at Lupeng. Captain Lee Sin said, your sister's death is not ordinary human being, she is a mutant, right? Although we have worked together, I'm sorry. I received the order to take your sister away. Lupeng said, wait, listen to me. No, listen, what I want to say. Captain Lee Sin said, don't try to do it. I can definitely shoot you before you do it. Captain Sarah said, help, help. Our protagonist said, did you point the wrong person? Oops. Captain Lee Sin said, oops, it's not good. I'm having eye disease again. And Lupeng, in the back, said, it's a good chance. Our protagonist used her Kung Fu Master chip. And he went towards Captain Lee Sen. Captain Lee Sen kicks and Lu Peng dodges. Lu Peng got Captain Lee Sen's gun. And Captain Lee Sen said, "This is not good." Our protagonist grabbed the Captain Lee Sen. He said, "Why do you want to catch my sister?" Lee Sen said, "Soldiers only know how to obey orders, don't ask why." Our protagonist says, "The government is over." Captain Lee Sen and our protagonist is out of balance. Secretary Sarah is awake and see what happened to our protagonist and Captain Lee Sen. And Secretary said, "It's so bold." Captain Lee Sen is so angry at what happened. Our protagonist and Captain Lee Sen said, "It's so bad." Captain Lee Sen is kissing. And this scene, Sin Tong in her back stopped the moment and said, "Stop. Don't fight. I may know the reason. And come with me." And Sarah, protagonist and Captain Lee Sen is stunned by this. And we will see a door. And the hospital dean is here and got killed by our protagonist. Secretary said, "Because I am the secretary of the dean, I heard of a research project codenamed GADSAN by him in the military. I found it. The Minister of Health, Zheng Shangchong, ordered our hospital to conduct a study to inject a virus and serum into patients with the black blood disease at the same time to create a mutants. Hundreds of people participated in the experiment, failed and died. And today, it happened to be your sister. The experiment, this is terrible. This is a survival rate of the experiment is less than 0.1%. I think your sister mutated into a special mutant. Will you be picked up by Zheng Shangchong?" Captain Lee Sen said, "He is the initiator of our operation." This is dumb. Bureaucrat. And our protagonist is shocked at this because 10 minutes later, we will see Sin Tong and the mutant that was killed by. Our protagonist, Sin Tong, is close to the mutant. And he took something different and Sin Tong ate it. Our protagonist said, "Is her behavior really a human?" Lu Peng said, "Forget it. Where is the core of the system energy?" And the system said, "The safe behind you." Our protagonist said to Sarah, "Do you know where is the dean's safe box code?" And said, "Yes." And the protagonist and Secretary Sarah did see the core. And system rewarded our protagonist 900 points to complete the task. Sarah said, "What is that?" Our protagonist said, "This is the core of energy." Sarah, "I have something to tell you. Why bother to go back and be punished? How about both of them join my shelter? Let's survive the end together. I have a shelter. That is safe. Sarah and you have nowhere to go now. Listen, you also know the inside story." Sarah said, "I join. Have nowhere to go anyway." And our protagonist is so happy to this. But Captain Lee Sen said, "I reject it." And our protagonist is shocked by this. Lee Sen said, "Regarding the truth of the matter, I have investigated it clearly. And if it is true, I will apologize to you. But this does not mean that I want to join you. And even if the government collapse, I can survive the end of the world by my own ability." Our protagonist said to herself, "Lu Peng, use your invincible mind to find a way." Secretaria said, "Oops, indeed Lee Sen is also a ruthless person. What should Lu Peng do?" Our protagonist said, "You are right, I'm indeed a brat. But I have enough reason to let you join us, the famous god of death, Lee Sen." Our protagonist in her mind, "What the hell I'm talking nonsense about? I just said it out of my head." Lee Sen said, "Interesting. I will give you 5 seconds to organize it if I dare to ask. I will kill you in one shot." And our protagonist is shocked to this because 5 seconds. Fuck. What do you do? Our protagonist see a thing in a safe and this is a book. Our protagonist thought something. Hey wait, for the national investigator and Lee Sen identity. If the system can do this, there is it. Since it has an order, it must be obeyed. Soldier only follows order. Captain Lee Sen said, on mind of our protagonist. Our protagonist consumed points by alloy ingots from the mall and transformed into identical card. And our protagonist say, it seems that I don't need to hide it. Our protagonist say, I'm actually a special investigator of the government. And the person in charge of in their project. Responsible for building in the end times. Establish a shelter to live a fire for mankind. Lee Sin said, "Are you kidding me?" And our protagonist show a card and say, "This is my ID card, you can scan it." And Lee Sin scan it and this is a government level personnel that identity is keep confidential. Our protagonist say, "It's turn out that Lee Sin the god of death is just like that." And Lee Sin is shocked to this. Lu Ping said, "It's time the end of the world. Still thinking about living alone as a soldier. Should you stand up to save humans being in settle this trouble world? With such an invasive attitude, are you also worthy of being a glorious soldier? It's over. I said it all at once." Lee Sin is so angry to this. And said to our protagonist, "You bastard." And Lee Sin said, "That's great." With a such good face. Lee Sin said, "As a soldier, I really should pour something for humans. And you dare invite Lee Sin, the god of death, join. Which makes me very touched. People who are my teammates will leave soon. Not only do you dare to kiss me, but you also dare to invite me to be a teammate. I hope you can last longer." System said. The two teammates joined to the shelter. The reputation plus 10. Unlock it for the first time. Teammates will be rewarded with 200 points. Please click the teammate skill in the interface. Our protagonist said, "Is this the legendary teammate's nemesis? I also feel the future of my shelter at the state." And we can see the status of Secretary Sarah and Captain Lee Sin to this panel. And the next panel, this is a canteen warehouse on the 16th floor. On a scientific research building. That chief give me the key to keep the capo. The wedding, as I expected, there is still a lot of materials. And our protagonist is so happy to this. Our protagonist checking something on status board. And said, "Is this a nickname system? What the hell is that? I be fine, right? The mood average, what does the green color of the mood system mean? Could it be, when the mood is shown to be positive, the subject show kindness towards to the shelter? When the mood is shown in red, it's indicate the subject is hostile to the shelter." And our protagonist thought it seemed that I used this system to distinguish between people and spice in our shelter, and our protagonist shocked to what I see. Because Sin Tong is drinking lot of milk, the system brings up the Sin Tong shape panel for me. And I think she like it the most, and the run next door gave it to beer as the ant is still alive. I have to go back and have a look if I have a chance next come. And our protagonist see the status bird of her sister Sin Tong, and this is strange skill actually said it's it unlock. I don't know how this attribute feels like my sister is strong, and he check her status too, and this is a level 2 is achieved, but the service and the strike type are given so much it seemed that I can become stronger in this way. System said now the content is only responsible for the production, and the raw materials have to replace by the mall or the provided by themselves. And Secretary Sarah called our protagonist and said, "I found the steel bars and some plastic tarpaulin materials you wanted. There are quite a few." And our protagonist said, "Great, I found the steel bars and some plastic tarpaulin materials you wanted. There are quite a few." And our protagonist said, "Great." Sarah said, "Director, I understand that what you mean make vegetable in the greenhouse, right? I guess it right." And our protagonist has no idea what to say. Listen said, "Yes, it's pretty clever. As soon I heard that what we're looking for, I knew that you were going to build a greenhouse. I walk around and found something vegetable seeds. It's just happened to cooperate with you to greenhouse planting. It seems that you still have some strength." Our protagonist say, "Smart, worthy of being my teammates. Only this way can I be qualified to enter my shelter." And Captain Listen said, "Go and see your shelter." And our protagonist say, "Okay, soon. And I really want to give the Sin family their brain so brightly as theirs." The above intelligence, and our protagonist is crying. The two ladies say, "Director, this is the dungeon you are talking about." Our protagonist say, "This is just a spare entrance. The main entrance is blocked by stone. Come on." And our protagonist and the others, he's entered the hole. Lee Sin said, "Your shelter will not be a cellar of pickled vegetables, will it, right?" And Lu Ping said, "No, it's not." And Lee Sin said, "What is that like?" Our protagonists say, the shelter is not huge, not very round. I think our protagonist has a different meaning. That's what he say. And now our protagonist and the others has been arrived in the shelter. Captain Lee Sin said, wow, so big. I'm still in the basement. I thought it will be nice. Be just a local guest. Our protagonists say, how can I take shelter in one day? How can I double it? The systems say, when you go out, the shelter has a canteen, water room, and restroom. Due to the large drawing area, I need to dig out additional space for the construction. And our protagonists say, everyone, let's introduce our shelter. My shelter is managed and constructed by artificial intelligence. And the restroom is on the left. And the middle is the pumping room and the right is the kitchen. This is the canteen and the materials can be processed in the desired meal or compressed food by handing it over to the AI. The computer contains all the recipes known in the world. This is a pumping room, one of the lifebloods of the entire shelter. As long as there is the electricity, you can start water immediately. The lodge has its own bunked room and hot water provided 24 hours a day when it's the power on currently, it can accommodate to 10 people. And Secretary Sarah is so surprised to this. Wow, hot water. The director hurry up and repair the energy core and our protagonist and the others has been entered the another room and our protagonist say, this is the main entrance halfway that was bombed. Done. At your, the beauty captain who triggered the self-destruct procedure and our protagonist say, what is in your hand? This is said, you will find out later. And the bomb has been glued in the stone and it will explode. And our protagonists say, what it blasts thought this is the special breaking bullet. Let's go. When it's there, listen, helps me guard the door. Okay. The zombie of this layer are all dead in the area around the shelter. Shelter should be safe and our protagonist has come closer to the huge thing and the energy core has been placed in the thing and our system say, the first level of shelter building has been assembled. The shelter can be upgraded to the level 2 and our protagonists say, it's great at the next panel and the bathroom on the other side. Secretary Sarah and Captain listen as is taking but and we will see a heavenly scene in Captain. And Secretary Sarah said, yes, thank you very so much. Dog grow up. In the next panel, we will see our protagonist and say the system is now starting to upgrade to a level 2 shelter. And the system say it takes 6 days and 5 hours to start to upgrade. After upgrading the shelter, the energy will exhaust in 4 months. Please look for the new energy. For new blueprints are unlocked to Transmission Room, Medical Room, Combat Uniform Research Institutes, and Firearms Research Institute. And our protagonists say, great, there is a Gun Research Institute and a portal. In another panel, we will see Captain Lee Sen and Secretario Sarah. Secretario said, Lee Sen, you are so big, really evening and new. Captain Lee Sen said, ah, Secretario Sarah, yours is not too small. I didn't expect to have a hot butt in the future. Then listen say, sure enough, hot water is the fighting power in the future. Let's go to the meeting. Lu Peng estimate that we have been waiting for the long time. And Captain Lee Sen has been shocked to the uniforms. And our protagonist shocked what he saw. And we will see Captain Lee Sen and Secretary Sarah wearing a uniform that made by Lu Peng. And Lee Sen said, unexpectedly, originally, you were also a pervert. And your uniform was designed to be so erotic. Our protagonist, it's the system how this uniform looks like. Systems say this is a dress made according to your imagination. Captain Lee Sen punched our protagonist and said, let's you go this time. I want you to look good next time. And our protagonist, okay, let's have a meeting now and make a plan for the future. And Secretary Sarah said, this time, I bought back in a true vegetable for the 4 weeks and 65 kronas food of the various kinds of 2 bags of rice. Sarah, let me explain. It's enough to eat for the 1 month without saving some food. There is no need to worry about. So the first priority is to find more food. The second priority is to find a new sources of energy. What else does the director want to add? Captain Lee Sen said, we can search for the food and energy several kilometers away. But there's our need to worry about medicine. We just collected a lot of them in the hospital. Our protagonist, the summary is good. But it's not enough to collect the food all the time. And our protagonist said, "Come with me. I told you about the greenhouse planting before. I'm going to set up the greenhouse in the pumping room, which is a big place here." Our protagonist said, "Don't look at me." And the system built a greenhouse. System said, "The lack of necessary materials, supplementary, like nutrition solution and the hydraulic planting tools need to deduct 100 points to purchase." It's confirmed. And our protagonist said, "Confirmed. And we will see the mechanical thing appear in the walls. The greenhouse will be completed in 2 days. And the greenhouse drawings will be completed in 2 days. And the house will be unlocked." And Lee Sen is so amazed at this. And said, "The army artifact intelligence damage seems to be his identity." And another side, in the alley outside the hospital, we will see the boss is so scared. And said, "Ha ha ha, you run again, help." And we will see the woman asking to the boss. And said, "Ask you something. Have you seen this woman in the photo?" And the boss said, Save. Don't kill me." The strange girl asking the boss, "Did you seen this woman?" And the boss say, "No, I been seen." The strange girl said to the boss, It's going to the mutant." The boss say something. "Save me. I am very rich. As long as I can save myself, I will give you everything." The strange girl is angry and said, "What? Rich?" And he grabbed the weapon of the man. And strike it to the boss. And the strange girl kick the boss and say, "You rich people. Do you how the poor survive? The poor people at the bottom, who are oppressed and exfoliated by you, can only hide in the subway to survive. You scornfully call it a metrodog. I expect the virus broke out. And we iron dogs without chips escape the disaster." And she strike the boss and say, "Damn the rich. Big sister." The man named Jung Tianchong really offered a lot of supplies to find this woman. But these people are not good people either. That's the right. Times have changed and how the end of the world. Our Metro clan will kill all the rich dogs. And stand at the top. The end of the world. In the next panel, we will see our protagonist. And this is the first night I sleep in the shelter. And I was very nervous at that moment. Because I encounter the biggest crisis in the history of the world. And that's it. This is our protagonist's first time to sleep in the same room with a girl. Although I have a girlfriend, I haven't even pulled my hand. Think on the other destruction system. Introduce the new drawing of the level 2 shelter system. Say, the shelter will be automatically expanded. After upgrading level 2, all level 1 buildings are automatically upgraded. And the following new drawings are added. Greenhouse level 1 combat uniform. Manufacturing office level 1. Medical room level 1. Firearms manufacturing office level 1. Portal level 1. And our protagonist didn't notice that Secretary Sarah is doing something. And when our protagonist talking to the system, he didn't notice Secretary Sarah is remove her clothes. And our protagonist is so shocked. Do what you see. And our protagonist say, "Wait a minute, what the situation, Sarah song? What is undressing? By the way, Sarah treats me with a respect. And respect is in it. Now, if the sun's awake, listen. Then she will be mistaken for a pervert." And Secretary Sarah is so close to our protagonist. And protagonist say, wait. And we will see Secretary Sarah hugging our protagonist. And our protagonist say, Sarah peeling on the bed. And what happened? This touch. Secretary Sarah, we only meet one day. And our protagonist say to Secretary Sarah, Sarah, wait. And she is done. Because Secretary Sarah has been falling asleep. And our protagonist realize something. Wait, this is sleepwalking. I didn't expect Sarah to be sleepwalking. Can't wake up her otherwise. This scene will be miserable. I know what to do. Our protagonist say, and the next day, our protagonist is so unhealthy. And say, the last night, hey, forget it. Don't let them discover what happened last night. Our protagonist say, I want to try a new transformation enchanting ability. Take the animation that Lee Sin found in the ruins of the explosion to try. Fortunately, the gun was blow up. And our protagonist, enchanting the bullets. And now the bullets, it's having a burst effect. With the points of interrogation. It seemed the transformation ability is related to the size. I don't know how to long-range attack. It's impossible to throw objects at 3 points. I remember there is a talent for throwing weapons. And the system shows something. System, what point of the talent is added to that perception? And the 3 points are added to the Kung Fu Master Chief. And attributes points are all added to his strength. And our protagonist has been grow. Her ability, with purple is a system, purple picks. The probability of pipe candy of the random of the purple in 1% orange, red chance is not. It seemed that I have a good luck, choose D. Because the system has been giving a choices, our protagonist. And give the bonus option. A melee attack speed, white. B, melee damage, white. And D, Kung Fu Master gloves, purple. And our protagonist choose the purple. The host selected the D, Kung Fu Master Chief. The upgraded to Kung Fu Master boxing gloves. And our protagonist A, it hurts. And he punch in the ground. And our protagonist A, the attribute, it's so powerful. And we will see the new ability of our protagonist. And our protagonist is so happy to this. You have a new takeaway, please check the order. And suddenly, there's calling to the cell phone of our protagonist. And saying, hello, you are. And another line, this is Kelly, I can only contact you now. Can you come here? I really need your help. This is Kelly. And Kelly is the one save our protagonist in the first chapter. This is the part 2 of our manhwa review. I hope you like it. I make the part 3 if we reach 2k views and 100 comments, and the title of our manhwa is in the description, and check it. If you have recommended manhwa to review, please comment below. Thank you and love you all guys.